Once, in a wide blue sky, there was a little cloud named Puffy. Puffy was small and round, and he floated quietly every day. Other clouds made rain, thunder, or even rainbows in the sky. But Puffy felt invisible because he could not do anything special. One sunny day, Puffy looked down and saw a little boy under a tree. The boy was sitting all alone and he was crying softly. Puffy wanted to help the boy, but he felt very small and weak. I wish I could help him, thought Puffy, but what can I do? The little cloud tried to think of a way to cheer the boy up. Puffy floated closer to the tree, hoping the boy would notice him. But the boy did not look up, he kept crying, his head in his hands. Puffy sighed, if only I were bigger, I could help him, he thought. The little cloud felt sad and wished he could do something important. But Puffy did not give up, he decided to keep watching over the boy. Maybe I am small now, Puffy thought, but I will find a way. The next day, Puffy saw the big clouds far away in the sky. These clouds were dark and heavy, they were forming a giant storm. Puffy floated closer to the big clouds to see what they were doing. The big clouds saw Puffy and started to laugh loudly. Look at that tiny cloud, said one big cloud. What can it do? You are too small to make rain or wind, said another big cloud. Stay out of the way, they shouted, and their laughter filled the sky. Puffy felt sad, but he did not let the big clouds scare him. I may be small, Puffy thought, but I can still do something. Puffy floated away from the big clouds and watched the sunset. The sky turned orange and pink, and Puffy felt calm again. That night, Puffy looked up at the bright moon in the dark sky. The stars twinkled like tiny lights, and Puffy made a big wish. I want to prove, Puffy said softly, that small clouds can help too. Puffy felt brave as he thought about his wish. He closed his eyes. I will find a way, he whispered, and he fell asleep under the stars. The next morning, Puffy woke up ready to face a new day. The big clouds were still far away, but Puffy felt stronger inside. The next day, Puffy noticed something strange in the sky. A dark shadow covered the fields and the trees below. The animals looked scared, and the flowers started to droop. Puffy floated closer and saw a giant, dark cloud in the sky. The cloud was black and heavy, its name was Gloom. I will block the sun forever, Gloom said with a loud voice. If there is no sun, nothing will grow, and the land will be mine. Puffy looked at Gloom and felt very small, Gloom was so big. The little cloud thought, how can I stop Gloom? I am too tiny. Gloom saw Puffy and laughed, you? Stop me, you are too weak. Puffy floated back, feeling scared, but he did not want to give up. I may be small, Puffy thought, but I must try to help. The little cloud looked around and saw the sun behind Gloom. The bright sun was trying to shine through, but Gloom blocked it. If I can make a hole in Gloom, Puffy thought, the sun can shine. Puffy took a deep breath and floated closer to Gloom. The closer he got, the bigger and darker Gloom seemed. Puffy felt scared, but he remembered his wish under the stars. I will find a way, Puffy whispered to himself, feeling brave. Gloom laughed again. You are too small to fight me, little cloud. But Puffy was determined. He floated higher, closer to Gloom. Puffy floated even closer to Gloom, who looked down and laughed. What can a little cloud like you do? Gloom said in a loud voice. Puffy felt small, but he did not stop. He floated higher and higher. I must try, Puffy thought. I cannot let gloom block the sun. Puffy looked up and saw the bright sun shining behind gloom. Please, sun, Puffy called out, shine brighter. I need your help. The sun heard Puffy and sent a small, warm beam of light. The light touched Puffy, and he felt warm and strong. Thank you, sun, Puffy said. I will carry your light with me. Puffy began to glow softly. He was a small cloud, but now he shined. Gloom saw Puffy's light and frowned. You cannot stop me, Gloom said. I may be small, Puffy said, but I can try my best. Puffy floated closer to Gloom, glowing brighter with every move. The animals on the ground looked up and saw Puffy shining. Look, a little cloud is glowing, they said. Maybe he can help. Puffy felt their hope, and it made him even braver. I can do this, Puffy thought. I can bring back the light. With the sun's beam shining through him, Puffy faced Gloom. Go away, Gloom, Puffy shouted. The sun and I will stop you. Gloom roared with anger, but Puffy did not back down. The little cloud glowed brighter, his courage lighting up the sky. With the light inside him, Puffy flew over the little boy's village. The people looked up and saw the glowing little cloud in the sky. Puffy spread tiny drops of water as he floated through the air. To everyone's surprise, a rainbow began to appear. It was bright and colorful, stretching across the whole sky. Look, the villagers cried, a rainbow, it's so beautiful. The little boy under the tree smiled for the first time in days. He pointed up and said, that cloud made the rainbow. Thank you. Gloom watched from above and growled loudly. Your rainbow won't last, little cloud, Gloom shouted angrily. But Puffy stayed strong. He shined even brighter than before. The people cheered for Puffy, their voices filled with joy. The trees began to stand tall, and the flowers opened their petals. The fields turned green again, and the village felt alive once more. Gloom, seeing the happiness below, began to lose his dark power. No, Gloom roared, this is not over, but his voice grew weaker. The bright light of the sun and Puffy's rainbow made Gloom fade away. At last, the sky was clear, and Puffy floated quietly once more. The little boy waved up at him and said, You are not small, Puffy. You brought us hope and light. You are a big hero to us all. Puffy smiled, feeling happy and proud. He had found his purpose. Even a small cloud could make a big difference in the world. And so, Puffy floated on, ready to bring light wherever it was needed.